Hello, I'm Sam Hanson from the Racing Post, and you join me here at the end of the fourth day of Royal Ascot 2019, where I'm also joined by my esteemed Racing Post colleague, David Jennings. And DJ, it's been a terrific day, a day of firsts, perhaps.
Yes, a day of firsts, first Royal winners for so many, and I suppose the big story, you didn't think it was going to happen in the Sandringham, but it did. We thought there might be a Queen winner with Magnetic Charm, and it looked that way coming into the final furlong, but no, Hayley Turner rewrote the history books once again. I could not believe it was 32 years since Gay Kellaway won at Royal Ascot. That's a long time. It was one of them stats where we were talking in the press room and there was never really any talk about it. You know, there was obviously, you'd hear a stat like that talked about a lot, but it wasn't really talked about. And then after the race was over, people were saying, oh my God, it's a first female to win at Royal Ascot since Gay Kellaway. 1987 was the last time. So I know there's obviously, that time I think there was only 4 days. It's only 5 days in the last couple of years. There's only 6 races a day. So there's not that many chances, but still 32 years is a long time. But Hayley has been the best female flat rider of all time by a considerable margin. You know, I remember winning the July Cup on Dream Ahead, and she just got up on the line to beat Beta Breath. She's a terrific hold-up rider. She's great patience, like real patience. And yeah, to me, it was fitting that she should end the female drought.
That's it, and remarkable really from her, because she sort of, you know, she retired, didn't she? And then she sort of came back and did, I think she came back just for the Shergar Cup or something, was it like that? And then, you know, then seemingly is now back in sort of full flow, and yeah, like very well deserved, like you say, she's a top rider. But I can't get over, like you say, that 32 years, because there are so many now brilliant female riders. Maybe like you say, it's just actually there's not that many races.
Hopefully the floodgates will open now. Josephine Gordon, Holly Doyle, you know, Jane Elliott. There's plenty out there, and yeah, hopefully it'll be like London buses. There'll just be another one now, maybe tomorrow. Yeah,
that's it. Very much so. Obviously, I say great performances from a human perspective. Charlie Fellows had his first winner. Martin Mead. I'm going to get this name right. Hopefully, Francis Henry Graffard.
Very impressive.
Yeah, who trained Watch Me. And obviously David Egan, young David Egan, just turned 20. He had his first win as well. But on the equine side of things, great performance from Watch Me. Was Hermosa a bit disappointing?
Yeah, it was one of them races where visually, when you watch the race, if you didn't know that Watch Me was 20-1, your eye would have been drawn to her for the whole race. She travelled spectacularly well, almost too well. And then you just wondered, would she pick up? And she really did. And Hermosa possibly looked as though she was a little bit slow. I think that's the lower end of the distance she wants to be running over. I think she could be very good over a mile and two. Maybe the Nassau at Goodwood could be next on her agenda. She was a little bit disappointing. Maybe she just wasn't beating a great bunch though. When you look at the English Guineas at Newmarket and then the Irish Guineas where she had the run of the race out in front, maybe they're all just much of a muchness in behind. I still think she's a very good filly. Maybe she's not the absolute superstar filly we were hoping that she might be, but she's still very good. I think she'll take the world of beating in the Nassau if she goes there over a mile and two.
Interesting. What probably is quite decent form is the Derby. And certainly if Japan's performance today is anything to go by, it very much was a good race, the Derby.
Well, I think it was the performance of the week. Obviously, it's not the highest profile race of the week. But for Japan to do what he did and to go the scenic route that he did, like Ryan Moore said after the race that he rode him like he was the best horse in the race. He rode him like he was the best horse in the race by a considerable margin, like out the back, very wide, and to still win by such a wide margin, I thought it was an exceptional performance. I know he's into around 7-4 for the Ledger, but to me, I'd be really, really interested in him for the Arc. I think he's that good. I think he could be by far the best 3-year-old colt, middle distance colt this season. If he ran against Anthony Van Dyke next week, I've no doubt that Japan would be favourite. Yeah, he's a star. He's only going to get better. Aidan O'Brien spoke about the hold up before the Dante. He was only okay in the Dante. He was much better in the Derby. He took another huge leap forward today. And to me, I think at the end of the season, we could be talking about Japan as the star of the season.
Out of interest then, why why would you put him above Anthony van Dijk now after that performance? Do you think he's got more improvement in him?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Well, what was he beaten? He wasn't beaten far in the Derby at all, less than a length. Wayne Lordan lost his whip in the closing stages. It had been a rush to get him there. All the talk beforehand was about how Japan was behind all the others, and I think he's catching up now. And I think for his first start until his second start, there was huge improvement. From his second to his third, there was huge improvement. And you look at the way he was ridden there today. Imagine if he was, just say, got a little bit of cover on the inside, in the middle of the pack, rather than last and wide. Like, he must have had some engine to go circle the whole field and win by the margin he did. To me, Japan could be something very special.
Excellent. Right. Certainly several takeouts from today's racing, and don't forget you can download the free Racing Post app for all the must-have Royal Ascot info and all the must-have horse racing info for that matter.